welcome to Business Review, a daily program that delves into the latest and most significant economic stories. From stock markets to currency news, Business Review covers the most up-to-date developments in the global finance.
Price for copper futures traded on the Shanghai Futures Exchange sustained a high of about 58,000 yuan a ton, while spot copper prices were up more than 60% from its low of 35,300 yuan a ton in March. He Haoping, a manager at a copper processing plant in East China's Zhejiang province, says prices have skyrocketed for the industrial metal due to demand in home appliances and construction materials. Meanwhile, analysts say copper output reduction in South America is also responsible for the increase in prices. Industry insiders say although the current low supply will push up copper prices in the short term, the long run could see supply and demand return to a more balanced and stable state.
According to a London-based analyst, markets have reacted positively to reports a post-Brexit trade deal is close to being agreed by the United Kingdom and the European Union. European shares rose for a third straight session with the deal finally in sight. London mid-caps jumped 1.2% to end a holiday-shortened session at their highest since February, while the FTSE 100's gains were limited by a stronger pound weighing on the exporter-heavy index. David Maiden of financial services company CMC Markets said the pound was just short of a 2.5-year high against the US dollar. However, Maiden said the positive reaction would likely have been sharper had the news of a potential deal not broken, with market activity much lower during the holiday period. Maiden suggested Britain could see an influx of investment in 2021 as funds may have been withheld as long as uncertainty of a no-deal scenario continued.
China's manufacturing sector has seen increased exports to the member states of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in recent years as bilateral trade ties continue to grow. The pandemic has failed to deter Chinese manufacturers from expanding their presence in the Asian market, with many shifting online to promote and sell their products. The machinery manufacturer based in South China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region has rolled out various innovative loaders, rollers, and excavators. In the first 3 quarters of 2020, its revenue jumped 18.9%, and its shipments to overseas markets exceeded 100,000 units. That's according to the company. Guangxi Lanxiong Intelligent Technology Company, which makes mobile phones for China, says their sale to some Asian nations has rebounded from the initial impact of COVID-19. The firm has exported worth 3.9 billion yuan so far this year, an increase of 30% from earlier in the year. Meanwhile, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, the RCEP agreement signed last month, is expected to provide another boost to regional trade and investment and help global economic recovery.
Austria's ski resorts cautiously opened their ski lifts for the holiday season, despite a third lockdown being introduced. Semmering, about 90 kilometers southwest of Vienna, is a favorite among skiers from the Austrian capital and enjoyed a decent trade on the first day of opening, although the slopes were mostly covered with day trippers who have to wear FFP2 particle filtering masks inside lifts and observe a 1-meter social distance. But restaurants and ski huts remain closed until January 7th, denying visitors their traditional holiday season gatherings. Hotels and tourist accommodations are closed, meaning skiing over the holiday period will be limited to people who live close enough to a resort for a day trip. Many ski resorts have adopted a social distancing and other infection-curbing measures to ensure the safety of the visitors.
Hao Peng, director of the State-Owned Asset Supervision and Administration Commission of the State Council of China said that the total assets of China's centrally administered state-owned enterprises, also known as SOEs, will reach 69 trillion yuan by the end of the year. The official outlined the achievements in reforming the central SOEs during the 13th five-year plan at a meeting held in Beijing. He said by the end of this year, the total assets of central SOEs will be about 69 trillion. That's about 45% up from the end of the 12th five-year plan period. During the 13th five-year plan period, the reform and development of central SOEs made significant progress and achievements. The operating revenue, net profit, and labor productivity of these enterprises grew at an average annual rate of 5.6%, 8.9%, and 7.8% respectively. Based on 2020 framework, the main operating goals of the SOEs in 2021 will be the overall labor productivity index to form an indicator system that comprises 2 profits and 4 ratios to realize high-quality development.
The Bolivian government announced on December 24th the discovery of 1 trillion cubic feet of natural gas reserves to be exploited starting in 2021. The new Bayacobo Sur X1 reservoir located in the Key Deep Hende field of the southern department of Chuquisaca is run by the Spanish company Repsol with participation from Shell and PAE. The drilling of the well began on October of 2019 with an investment of about $74 million and reached more than 5,000 meters in depth. According to official data, Bolivia has 10.7 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves that guarantees supply to the domestic market and its export commitments to Argentina and Brazil.
The longest seabed subway tunnel in East China's city of Qingdao opened to traffic on Thursday. The 5.4-kilometer tunnel between the stations of Dayang and Guindao North is part of Subway Line 8 in the city. The eastern side tunnel was dug by the slurry shield method, while the western side by mining, according to chief engineer of the project with the China Railway Group. It took 2 years and 7 months to complete the tunnel, which is a record for similar subway projects in China. The tunnel has surpassed the tunnel of Qingdao Subway Line 1, which has 3.49 kilometers of line undersea, becoming the longest seabed subway tunnel in China. With the opening of traffic, the tunnel will give a strong impetus to integration and coordinated development of the China-Shanghai Cooperation Organization demonstrative zone and the Jiaodong economic sphere.
This has been Business Review, your daily source for the most critical financial stories. Tune in next time for the latest financial news impacting the world economy.